Welcome back to the Coaching Collective podcast. Today, myself, Michael, and Jude are joined by Michael's client, Trai Wallis. Or Trai Wallis Pereira, actually.
Well, the Pereira, yeah.
His legal name.
Yeah.
So Trai, if you want, jump in, give us a little bit of an insight of, where you're at, what you do, a little bit of an introduction, and then we'll go from there.
You want like the full story, or are we doing that soon?
Oh,
Nah, do that later, yeah.
later.
Uh, Fucking obviously live in Brizzy, always have, grew up in Logan in the hood. Um, Obviously, I don't know how much in depth you want to go in this, but obviously just recently stepped into the online coaching world. Been under Michael for how long has it been now?
Too
Two,
long.
two
Too
and a
long.
half. I remember it was December 2022. It was just before you engaged. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Um, so yeah, been with Michael for 2.5 years. Helping people's obviously been a massive thing for me before I stepped into online coaching, more so the whole mindset and drug addiction side of it. Always got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And just fucking one day over the Christmas holidays, just said, fuck, I'm not doing this construction shit anymore, and took the leap. And here I am now, a month in, 30 clients as of yesterday.
Fuck
And
yeah. That's good. Good.
yeah,
Yeah.
had three onboardings yesterday.
Yeah.
And
No,
that took
that's yeah,
30.
that's some nice movement too. Because I remember when you did say that you were going to move transition from construction, I was like, oh, I hope it's a fast transition because sometimes it takes a little bit of time to build up the base.
Yeah, well, a lot of people that I know, like all the other boys that are in my mentor group with that Ryan fella,
Yeah.
none of like they're all struggling.
Yeah. I did say as well to you though, like having like a very because most people take so long to define like a niche, and because you define that from day dot, it becomes yeah too.
Well, it's something I've always been obviously very open about, and like fucking
Mm.
obviously the whole jail situation. Like it's not something I really give a fuck about. I'm more than happy to discuss it and be extremely open about it. More so for the fact that most cunts relate to it. Well, not most,
Mm.
a lot of boys relate to it.
Yeah, and I do find as well with some of the guys that I've dealt with in those positions, they don't like talking about it.
Nah, it's weird. A lot of boys
Yeah.
are real funny about
Yeah.
like, yeah, they think it's embarrassing or fucking people going to judge them. But like
Mm.
9 times out of 10, people want someone that they can relate to.
Yeah.
Like a
Expected.
psychologist, like for me personally, I'm like, I'm not going to pay this cunt $300 for a session for
Mhm.
you to just tell me that I'm fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all you've done is gone to uni with a $200,000 degree and you're being told how to tell me how to fix myself.
Mm.
Like you
Yeah,
haven't,
it's good.
yeah,
It's good because you can
you
relate.
probably never sniffed rack off a stripper's ass in your life. You're
This
trying
is
to
the
tell me
least.
I need to
Yeah,
stop.
we'll have to give this one an R rating, I reckon.
That
Might need to get it edited. Yeah, nah, keep it all in. It's good. Let's jump into that then. Give us a history of what led you to this point. Go into the depth. Obviously, we know the story. But why that clientele? What path did your life take you down, etc. Go as
um,
in depth as you want, man.
all right. So like obviously went down very young age. Like I played professional, semi-professional football, soccer, as Jude likes to call it.
Yes.
Um, Up until I literally turned 18. Was always very anti-drugs. Like there's always that group at school that would smoke weed and the weirdos, and I'm like, fuck, you guys are just such losers, kind of like
Mm.
get away from me. Like as if you do drugs, people that smoke cigarettes. I still to this day I can happily say I've never smoked a cigarette, but like, I was just always disgusted by drugs. Like I was always like, no, I'm an athlete. Like, I'd never ever do that. And literally the first day of turning 18 and going clubbing, I quit football the next day.
Really?
I
No
Yeah,
way.
I literally just like because I was with work, like I was working 6 days a week, had to work 6 days a week. My boss was like, "Look, you got to choose football or plumbing," and I was like, "Well, I'm never gonna make it professionally football," so I just said, "Yes, sweet." First night of clubbing, found pingers, and I was like, "Yeah, this is way better than fucking playing professional foot, like
Yeah.
semi-professional." So I literally walked in after the weekend and just sat with my coach and I said, "Look, mate, fucking, this is not for me anymore." And he's
Mm.
like, "Yeah, sweet, all good. You ever want to come back, let me know." And from there, sort of just life went downhill. Not so much downhill, but it was just very actively partying, alcohol out every weekend. And then got engaged early at like 21, 22.
I always forget that actually. Yeah, so do
Yeah.
I. When you
Yeah.
said that.
Um, was very toxic. But when I moved out with her, like I was a second year apprentice and just couldn't afford nothing. So I
Mhm.
was like, and she was barely working. I think she might have been working at Zarafas at the time. So I was like, fuck, like I need to do something. So I obviously got into the shit that I was doing, making money on the sides,
Mhm.
and then grew that into something ridiculous. And then found myself addicted to cocaine very heavily from the age of like 22,
Yeah.
and then split with her at like 22, 23, and life just went fucking even downhill from there. Um, just found I moved out on my own, which is probably the worst thing I ever did during
Yeah.
COVID, because one, couldn't work, so I was not plumbing. This was 2019. I've pretty much never worked again since 2019.
Mhm.
Um, and just found myself sitting in my apartment every day by myself, just getting cooked
Mhm.
with strippers, waitresses, all the shit that we shouldn't be doing. Did that very actively for about 3 years. And then met my missus. Pretty much wasn't even a lot of people ask me like, oh, what was a life turning event in your life? And it wasn't really a life turning event, but I met Rani and she was very obviously gym orientated and
Mhm.
focused from when I met her. And she worked at a health food store, so she was all about like gut health and all that gypsy shit.
Mhm.
So I sort of said like, fuck, like I can't be with this girl and fucking be a fat loser. So I just sort of got into gym, started training with her. But from all the drug addiction shit and the alcohol and the benders, I actually had multiple seizures. And just as I was getting with her, I was going through the neurology shit and seeing specialists and brain specialists, and they put me on this medication. And as soon as I started taking it, I couldn't actually let my body heat up for like 8 months, and we could not figure it out. I couldn't be in the sun, couldn't be active. Just one morning in the gym after taking pre-workout, got in the gym after being in the gym with her for weeks, and one day I just like broke out in this internal itch and couldn't figure out what the fuck it was. And I was like, oh yeah, it must just be the pre-workout. Come back the next day with no pre-workout, happened again. I was like, nah, this is fucked. And then sort of realized that there's something going wrong. I couldn't actually get hot. Went back to these neurologists and I was like, mate, like it's got to be the medication. They're like, nah, it's not that. It can't be. And I'm like, sweet, whatever. Kept taking the medication. Then like 8 months went by. But during that 8 months, obviously me and Rani had fell pregnant after like 2 months of being together.
Mhm.
Uh, fell back into bendering most weekends and sort of during the week shit, pokies, all the toxic shit that I thought that I had left. Um,
So you, just to stop you, had you stopped the partying at this point as well, like for that period?
Pretty much, yeah. Like when I met her, like it just I stopped all the during the week shit and
Mhm.
me and her partied together for like the first 3 to 4 weeks on weekends, like in the
Yeah.
group that I was partying with, all their boys and misses and shit would all get together on weekends, go strippers, go casino, get on it, and whatnot. But then after like week four, I just sort of cut it out completely.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
went sober, and then as soon as I found out she was pregnant, it was just like fuck, I couldn't train and
Yeah.
the sort of added stress. I used it as an excuse and told myself, oh, fuck, life's about to be fucked.
Mhm.
Why not just fucking, spiral out of control again and,
Mhm.
uh, fall back into old habits, which I did. So, and I didn't have that vice of training and using that as my escape as what I normally would. So just fell straight back into old habits. And then um, I just sort of one day woke up and I was like, fuck, like I was like 125 kilos, fat, disgusting, like just gross. And I
Mm.
just looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, man, this is just, it's not okay. Like it's fucking gross.
Yeah.
And then so that's when I obviously started with Darcy. Um, but prior to Darcy, I'd also had that fucking car crash, which was,
Yeah. What about that too? Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, which was luckily not a scratch except for the seatbelt. Obviously, t thank God, touch wood that yeah, he had different plans for me that day.
Yeah.
Literally left strippers, got kicked out of the strippers, were getting too rowdy, went home, got in my car. They all messaged me saying, hey, come back 2 hours, we're gonna party. I was like, sweet. Got in my car, drove there, and then on the way back, fell asleep, hit a big pole, and fucking yeah, you've seen the photos of the car.
Yeah.
Uh, and then that wasn't even really like, and like Rani wasn't even really, some random guy dropped me home and I was fine. Like I said, not a scratch. So Rani and didn't really think much of it. But the turning point for me was when got to my car the next day.
Mm.
and the look on her face when she's seen how fucked the car was.
Mm.
Like her
Yeah.
obviously 6 months pregnant at the time. That's when I was sort of like, okay, that was the turning point when I was like, all right, I need to fucking sort my life out because I could have left her as of last night as a single mum, never met my daughter,
Mm.
and like yeah, so that was just like, okay, now I need to sort my shit out. And that's when I reached out to Darcy. And that's obviously when I started my weight loss journey and pretty much went sober. The first year with him, I drank 7 times.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that as well. Yeah.
And then from last year, no, from yeah, I was pretty much fully
Funny.
sober up
Yeah.
until my wedding last August,
Hmm.
where
Number 20, 23, you didn't drink at all.
nah, that
Right.
was my full
Yeah.
year in jail in 23, sober all through jail, come out, me and Rani plan to get married, and then had a few drinks at my wedding in August last year in 24,
Yeah.
and then had a few nights out with the boys after my wedding. And it was like, it was 18th of December, my Christmas party for work. And
Yeah.
I remember sitting in an apartment around a table, every cunt passing the plate around, two waitresses, cruisers, and I was just like, this is fucking disgusting. Like, this is just putrid behavior. And
Mm.
I left and I just said, boys, I'm going. Like, this is just a joke. And it was 11 p.m. And I just said, yeah, I just said, boys, I'm going. This is like literally all this shit that I was trying to get away from. And
Mm.
now I found myself back in these situations that I worked so hard to distance myself from. Um, and from that day, I just said, no, like that's not me. Like I worked so hard, too hard to fall back into these old habits. So I just said, yep, sweet, I'm going. And just said to myself, that's it. Enough's enough. Like
Mm.
time to dial back in, get back to where I was mentally, physically. Not that I wasn't bad physically, but
Yeah.
just like I felt myself being in construction on those union sites, falling back into old habits. Like, every now and then a guy be like on a Friday, oh, hey, bro, you want one? I'm like, oh, yeah, sweet. It's a Friday, bro. Fuck it. Why not?
Hmm.
I was like, after like a week of doing that, I was like, man, what the fuck are you doing?
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, there's no need for this shit. Like, you work so hard to get away from this. And like, now you're just doing it with like literally losers on a job site.
Mm. People don't even know.
Like, not, yeah, like not even a,
Mm.
a special event, like just literally for the sake of it. And I just found, and I was just like, I was half embarrassed.
Yeah. I feel like as well, people feel like they form bonds with the people over those kind of events too.
100%
Once
they
you
do.
guys
They
have
think,
no
yeah,
depth to bond at
100%.
all. As soon as
And
the
then
drugs are gone.
once I did it once with these boys, they'd be
Yeah.
coming back every day. Oh, bro, you want another one?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, get away from me.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
you're fucking losers, bro. You're the people that I despise. Like, get away, please.
Yeah.
And I end up just telling most of them, like, bro, if you want to do that shit, like, I'm all good, all for it, but like, don't talk to me. I
Mm.
can always tell when
That's
cunts are
yeah, with
cooked
you.
because they like overcompensate and trying to pretend like they're not cooked, and they're
Yeah.
annoying. And I'm like, bro, just fucking please go to another level, go to another room, and just fuck off. Like, don't be around me when you're doing that shit.
Yeah.
And then Christmas holidays come, and then fucking, I literally remember the exact spot when I was on my morning walk from Rani's Cafe by myself. I was meant to go with Jordan Penny,
Yeah.
and he cancelled on me, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just go for the walk anyway. And I always have good thoughts in my head when I go for a walk by myself.
Same as me. Yeah.
Um, and I literally, just as I got onto this bridge on the river, I text Rani and I just said, you know what, fuck this. Like I'm gonna go into like helping people is something that I always got a lot of fulfillment out of. So I just literally texted her while she was at work and I said, I'm giving myself to the end of January and I'm done with construction.
Yeah.
I wasn't even fully committed to the coaching. I just said, I'm leaving construction. Like this is not me. I fucking left this industry for a reason. And I need to get out of it because it is so toxic. And I literally just resent going to work every day. And I was just like, I literally, like we've discussed, that my lawyer's now saying I've got till 2028,
2028 now.
2028.
Fucking hell.
I'm not fucking doing, 3, 4 years of
Yeah.
being miserable, surrounded by losers,
Mhm.
and people just got no drive in life and no desire to actually make something of themselves. Like they're all happy making their 2.5 grand a week,
Mhm.
getting 2 grams on a Thursday, getting cooked Thursday, Friday, coming to work Monday depressed till Wednesday, and then it's just a vicious cycle. They start again Thursday. and they're all fat, like they're all eating fucking sausage rolls and a can of Coke for breakfast, like dare ice
Nice
chocolates and
coffee. Yeah.
coffees. And I'm like, you cunts just got no respect for yourselves. Like, and then they wig out on me and make me feel stupid because they're like, oh, are you weighing your sauce? Oh, you fucking eating the same shit you've eaten the last 6 weeks. I'm like, well, yes, cunt, because there's a reason why I look like this, and you're a fat loser.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like the one guy's like, I remember, I'll never forget this. One guy's like, oh, I tried dieting, bro, but after 3 days of eating chicken, I just got over it. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, fucking, that's the exact reason why you look like the way you do, bro.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I feel, yeah, a lot of that's the mentality of a lot of people as well. You hear that so often.
oh, fuck, it just
Yeah.
does my head. I'm like, well, bro, either you just suck it up or you just be fat. Like,
Yeah, I feel like as well, because I'm going to loop back as well in a second, but finding the I always say with the clients initially, you find your reason why you're doing what you're doing, and it becomes a lot easier.
well,
But
that's
specific
that's my
reason.
biggest
Yeah.
thing with my onboarding calls. Like, I literally dive deep into like that's one of my main questions in my
Mm.
registration email is like, what is your main driving factor, or what is your main reason as to why you want to turn your life around and become a better version of yourself?
Mm.
And that's when I fucking dive deep and we figure out like their biggest driving factor and how we can work towards and remind yourself of that daily to make sure that, just because some days it gets hard, but say their biggest driving factor is their kids. It's like, okay, you don't want to get out of bed. Is sleep worth more than being the best version of yourself for your kids?
Yeah, and spending time with your kids too.
Yeah.
Having
Um,
endless time with your kids.
yeah, like I'm like, is sleep worth more than losing 30 kilos so you don't die in 2 years' time?
Yeah.
Mm.
From fucking obesity and being a fat fuck.
Mm.
Like it's those little things that like and reminding people, and I make a lot of my clients, like especially the ones that really struggle with motivation, like I make them write their reasons why on their mirrors in their bathrooms.
Mhm. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
So that way when they get up and they're in their bathroom, that first thing they see, nine
Mm.
times out of ten, if they go to the bathroom, is oh, okay, sweet. That's why I'm getting up right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously when I literally walked into work on the Monday, first day back after Christmas, and I said to my foreman, I said, look, bro, I got some bad news. I'll give you to the end of the month. And this was like January 6th or some shit. And I
Mhm.
said, got me to the end of January. And then literally that week up until so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was just so unproductive because I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking saying to the end of the month. And then this old fella that worked with us just goes, bro, he goes, just go. He's
Yeah.
like, fuck this place. He goes, you don't, he goes, the craziest thing is like everyone that I spoke to that was 35, 40 plus on those job sites all said the same thing to me. Brother, we are jealous and we wish we did the same thing at your age.
Yeah. And sometimes you need you back against the wall in order to follow through with shit too. Yeah.
And like as a man, as a provider, like I said in my Instagram story the other week, like
Yeah.
it's scary, it's hard, it's daunting, and it should be. Like if your fucking goals and your visions, they don't scare you, you're not going hard enough. But like as a man and a man of, if you consider yourself a man of value, you will make it work.
Yeah.
If you have a family with a roof over their head and you're the provider putting food on their table, you fucking got no choice but to make it work.
Hmm. And if you keep doing the right things as well, things fall into place. So I say to everyone, if you've got the strategy, you've got the game plan, you've got drive,
Drive, that's the biggest thing. Like,
and
you don't
yeah,
need
you
to
can't
even
do
have
shit.
to
That
have
shit.
a fucking game plan. You don't need to have the strategies.
Mhm.
If you got fucking the drive and the passion
Yeah.
and the driving factor, like that main reason why, you'll fucking make anything work.
Yeah.
People just hate
People
change.
don't understand that, and they all said, "Oh, bro, we don't get to our age, and then it's too late." I'm like, "Well, brother, it's not too late."
Yeah. They're probably 30-year-olds saying that.
Yeah, well, they're 40s,
Yeah. Mm.
but they got two kids, they got a mortgage, they got
They've got
fucking
30 years ahead of work.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I said to him, I said, man, it's not too late. I said, that's the fucking victim mentality that all you cunts on these job sites are now stuck with, and you'll die on these job sites. And he was like,
I said to someone yesterday as well, if people forget that we are in control of what we do, we can do anything we want.
yeah,
We can make any change we want at any point. The only thing that confines us to what we're doing is like just societal norms.
mm.
Being comfortable.
Yeah, and then like obviously taking a massive liking to like Michael's strategy of coaching, and like, I was just blown away.
Mm.
Not to say anything bad about Darcy, but like the level of professionalism and effort with check-ins, the knowledge, like just listening to Michael speak, like I was just like, who the fuck is this bloke? Like
Mm.
this kind of fucking doctor, like
Who do you think
Yeah.
he is?
fucking like a brain surgeon or some shit. Like, and then yeah, just like the Loom videos and the fucking check-ins and the communication. I was just blown away with. I was just like, this is this normal? Like, is this normal
Yeah.
coaching? Because
Mm.
obviously, like Darcy was, two check in every 2 weeks, which is just an email.
Mhm.
Obviously, communications, but it was just him voice noting you saying you're a fat cunt and go do your 60 minutes on the
Mhm.
stepper. Uh,
Yeah. Darcy's got the very specific niche too.
yeah, and it
Like
works for him.
that,
I mean, I
yeah,
always
and it
just
works for the people that he's
always
working with. Yeah,
applaud
it
him and
does.
always tell people if you're struggling with, that first initial step, Darcy's your man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna get anyone to fucking get going. It's him.
He's going to kick you up the ass.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then yeah, just I'd always wanted to help people and then just sort of said, fuck it. Like I've got the knowledge to an extent. I'm not the most knowledgeable cunt with this stuff, but I have the drive and I
Mm.
have the passion and I have the love for helping people.
Mhm.
That's what gets me through this shit. And like actually knowing that I've never been so like quitting that construction and walking out that Friday. Oh, sorry, I'll back to that story. I told him you have me to the end of the month. Walked in Thursday and I said, bro, tomorrow's my last day. I don't give a fuck. I'm so done. I'm not doing this. Like,
Yeah.
fuck man, like he's leaving me in a bit of shit spot. And I said, bro, I really don't care. Like I am miserable. Like
I,
I just
I, I
want to
remember doing that
so
with my first job. I gave him a month, and it was the worst month of my life.
yeah, I just said, man,
Yeah.
I'm so unproductive. Like I'm literally costing you money.
Yeah.
I would literally do a full level of rough-ins by myself in like 7, 8 days,
Mm.
and that's 15 rooms. And I had not even done 2 rooms by Thursday
Mm.
because I was just like, man, fuck this. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I just said, man, I'm done. I'm
Check out.
costing you money. I feel shit. I'm checked out mentally.
Yeah.
So I said, man, tomorrow's my last day. Come in Thursday, dropped all the boys off their carton of fucking hard solos, and just said, see
Mm.
ya. Remember me when you're drinking these.
Mm. You probably would have had a little bit of a impact on them doing that as well. They,
100% I did.
they would have thought, holy shit,
A lot of
okay.
the boys like, man, fuck, like a lot of the boys like, oh fuck, bro, if you're doing it, like, I don't want to be stuck here at like the old boys' age. I'm like, well, bro, fucking,
Do something.
either do something or you will be stuck here, bro.
Do you
Yeah.
still have contact with them?
A few of them. Like it's weird, bro. It's crazy. Like even the first side I was on, like everyone's your best mate, bro. And I was like, fuck, these boys are like good boys. We talk every day. As soon as you leave the job site, bro, fuck.
Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of them, like one or two of them that I still keep in contact with. But I was a bit blown away because I was like, fuck, I thought you boys were like, good boys, my mates.
Mm.
But no,
You've
as
been
soon
going out with them too.
as you leave job site and never you don't have to be around them every day, it's just like,
It's like any job though. Like I feel like you're just grown to be like mates with them because you're with them fucking
yeah, well,
40
that's
hours
the
a
thing. Like
week.
you spend enough time with someone, you
Yeah.
just
It's like you
learn to
spend more
fucking
time with them than you do your actual mates.
exactly right. And that's what I
Yeah.
was, that was what was in my mindset. Like I spend 70, 80% of my day with these cunts.
Mm.
Mm.
And they're all miserable, depressed, hate their lives, hate their misses, hate their kids, hate their jobs. Like
Mm.
I could count on one hand how many blokes I spoke to in the 6, 7 months on those union sites that were genuinely happy to be at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the
People.
main topics of conversation is what can we do today to be able to be sat down and not do work, or how can we do the most minimal amount of work today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but yet these cunts are on 2, 3 grand a week.
Yeah. I never understood the whole union site concept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it blew my
And all
mind.
this everything. Yeah.
Does not blow my. It does not make sense to me.
10 days off at Easter, all paid. Oof. That's
Hmm.
probably the perks of the job.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
So if we jump back a topic, the biggest turning point I'm guessing was when Kaya was born as well.
Yeah, so the car crash was the biggest, but
I'll
like
say the car
by
crash was the
the
biggest.
time Kai was born, like I thought I was good.
Yeah.
Obviously, watching Rani give birth to Kai was like another like switch
Yeah.
in my mind. But I was like, okay, I'm good, but I'm here, but
Mhm.
I need to fucking be up here.
Yeah.
Just before or after the car crash?
After.
So Rani was 6 months pregnant when I had the car crash.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was why I was like, fuck, I need to sort my life out because I nearly just killed myself and left my
Mm.
pregnant missus on her own.
It's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny that you say that as well because I feel like seeing Kai being born, but you being like, oh, it's a huge turning point. Like you see a lot of these people that are probably in a similar position to you that like that doesn't even affect them, and they don't even think about it.
And that's what blows my mind. Like some men, especially mothers, are normally always pretty good.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
mum. But like some men just get so disattached to kids, and I'm just like I had an onboarding last night with a bloke, and his daughter was there next to him saying, "Daddy, Daddy," and he's like, "Mate, fuck off before I uppercut you." And I'm just like in my head. I
Ah,
texted him this morning because he's whinging already on day one about having to do journal work.
yeah.
Bro, I don't need
I'm
to
gonna
do
do a
this.
journal work too. That's good.
He's like, bro, I don't need to do this. My fucking head's good. And I'm like, brother, I don't want to be rude and I don't want to tell you how to be a parent, but bro, how you spoke to your kids last night, you're not good.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're a shit man, bro. Until I'm confident in you being a good man, you will do this fucking journal work.
Mhm.
And he just left me on red.
Of course he has. People don't like being pulled up on shit either.
Nah,
To us all the
that's what I
time.
said. Like, this bloke's 26 years old. He's 140 kilos.
Oof.
He's
Yeah.
lucky because he's 6'5", and so he holds it a bit better than most
One
people.
person,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I said to him in my Loom video, I said, bro, I don't want to be rude, but you're a fat fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it, bro. I said, but your missus in my DMs whinging about ya, coming home from work, treating her like shit, treating your kids like shit,
Mm.
thinking that's why I put that provider video up yesterday, mostly because of this.
Yeah, of course.
She's like, he thinks because he's making good money running his own plumbing company. She goes, mate, she goes, I'm mowing the lawns
Mm.
because he tells me that I need to do it.
Yeah.
Because he comes home miserable every day, he doesn't want to speak to us, doesn't want to speak to the girls, and she's pregnant with their third girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like as well, most people don't prioritize when they have, if I'm to have kids, it's going to be at the right time.
And
Obviously,
that's
you were
the
sort
thing,
of
like
thrown into the position, but you
it's
switch.
hard. It's definitely hard being like very successful and like,
Yeah.
but like you also just need to sit back and think,
No,
okay,
it's not,
like
bro.
yeah, you need to prioritize
You
kids, man.
make time.
If you don't fucking prioritize kids, like they will be raised shit and they will turn into shit people.
Yeah, but
It's like anything.
if you don't have time to prioritize the kids, in my view, don't have them. But I feel like people don't acknowledge that. It's obviously easier to say for me because Isabel's quite young. Yeah, so for
It's
me, it's
crazy,
like when
but
I
like
know that I have time to do that, that's when we will have kids.
I'll never forget this conversation in jail with this bloke. So this bloke had testicular cancer in
Mm.
jail, got got granted compassionate bail because he was meant to die. His
Yeah.
nuts like this big in jail. They said, "Look,
Well,
you're meant to die,
yeah.
we'll let you out."
Yeah.
This cunt put himself back in 2 weeks.
Put himself back in.
Well, because he went straight back to crime and fucking got
Oh
it.
shit. I thought that's what you were gonna say. Yeah.
I was like, and then me and him were cutting laps in the yard, and he's like, bro, like talking about kids, and he goes, man, when I get out, I'm the best dad. I said, oh yeah, how so, bro? He
Mm.
goes, man, even when I'm fucking shooting up and shit, like I'll always have my kid. And I'm like, bro, are you
It's
listening
not
to
a
what
good
you're telling
dad.
me?
Yeah.
I'm like, do you comprehend what you just said to me? He's like, what do you mean? I said, bro, okay, put it this way. I said, who put your kid on this planet? I said, who created your kid? He said, I did. Okay. I said, okay. So you have a fucking responsibility to make sure that you raise that kid well. And he's like, oh, bro, that's pretty crazy when you put it like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, it's fucking normal. What do you mean, bro?
I can picture this cunt as well.
Yeah.
Oh, just
I'm
white
just
trash.
Yeah.
Like this kid was my age. No, he was younger. I was 27. He was 26, and he'd done 8 years.
Fuck.
And just the same shit, stealing cars, shooting up, fucking just being like scum junkie.
Yeah.
Bro, like you fucking make me sick.
Mm. What was
And
the experience like
they
in
were all wigging out on me because I'd never used before.
yeah, because you
I
run
was the only one out of 28 boys that wasn't shooting up every day.
yeah. I still can't get over the fact they can get that stuff in jail as well.
Yeah, it's
Couldn't get
fucking.
that in. Couldn't get a viral test in though.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently the boys out at the farm fucking got heaps of gear, so I'm hoping I get out there and I can just keep
Oh, that's
I'm
nice.
really hoping I get out there.
yeah. Well, I actually found out. Remember
Look, mate,
that
I think
bloke
you'd
that we
rather be at home.
remember that guy that we thought inquired with you, Michael, that Brendan Jones?
Yeah.
I was talking to him yesterday and he was out at the farm. And they actually, because his test was so low, they actually gave him TRT out there.
No way.
Really?
I was like, cunt, are you serious? He's like, yeah. I said, fuck it. That's it. I'm just gonna
I was
crash.
in the wrong prison.
Crash
I'm
yourself
just
a
gonna
month
crash
before.
my test before we go in, and
Yeah.
I'll get fucking just start getting 1 mil shots every week.
Fuck, I didn't. I thought you weren't allowed to have any of that because they wanted everyone to be like somewhat inferior.
Well, he told me that when you get given TRT shots from the doctor in jail, they
Yeah.
test you weekly,
Yeah.
especially out at the farm where it's very low security and all the boys get vials and shit brought in.
Yeah.
If your test levels start going through the roof because you're using fake underground stuff, they
Yeah.
cut you off.
Okay. Oh, so they're administering it as well. Well, that's
Yeah,
not looking well. Yeah.
so
The
they
biggest thing is getting that protein in while you're in there.
no out of the farm you can get fucking full tubs of protein.
So what's the farm?
The farm is Palin Creek. It's the very low security. So there's like no
Oh,
fences,
got you. Yeah.
aircon, full gym.
Mhm.
It's like,
Jim?
yeah, full gym.
So you believe you'll be going to low security.
I hope so, yeah. It'll
Yeah.
take me a little bit to get out there because you can't get out there within the first like 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
But if you have good records and you're not a biking, you're not a violent offender,
Hmm.
they'll let you go out there if you're doing a
Yeah.
decent thing.
So what was your experience like in prison? I know people don't really know what happened with all of that, but
For me
that's
personally,
not true.
going in very anxious because I'd always heard my stepdad's war stories about jail being like, when you go in there, you just got to smack the biggest cunt you can find so everyone leaves
Yeah.
you alone. And I was like, okay, sweet. Like I'm G'ing myself up at the door when I'm about to walk in. Like I'm just gonna find the biggest cunt and just pump this dog.
Mm.
And I walked in, and it's just the complete opposite. Like everyone comes up, shake your hand, like, hey brother, what's your name? Probably helped that I had a rat's tail longer than everyone in jail and
Yeah.
fucking a full mouth of teeth and tattoos because everyone just thinks that I belonged in jail.
Yeah.
A lot of boys like, bro, how long you done? And I'm like, man, this is my first day. And they're like, what? Bro, you look like you've been in here for fucking 15 years.
He went straight after prep too, Jude. So he was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So and that was the worst thing, like coming off cycle so suddenly. I was like crying watching Australian Idol and getting letters from my family and shit because my fucking test crashed and my estrogen's probably gone through the roof
Mm.
because I didn't have PCTs. So I was literally crying at the drop of a hat. Like if I got a letter, I'd have to tell my celly, like, bro, don't come in at lunch when I go away because I need to read all these letters, bro.
Mm.
Because I just sit there like literally with waterfalls on these fucking pieces of paper reading them.
Oh, the
Um,
the joys.
but like I was thinking in my head, I was like, fuck yeah, go to jail, just train every day, hit the gym, get in there. No gym.
Mm.
Like, what? What do you mean? They're like, nah, bro, they got rid of that years ago. All we had was two medicine balls, a dip bar and a chin-up bar.
Yeah.
I
That's all you
was like,
need.
and on my first day, I didn't even have shoes because I didn't even know that you can take shoes in there. So the cop that raided me, he's like, mate, you want to put shoes on? And I said, nah, I was in Birkenstocks walking around the house. And I was like, nah. And he goes, you sure? I said, no, it's fine. Kiss Rani. I said, oh, I just sort of, because I didn't get anything at my house. So I
Yeah.
thought I was just going to get charges at the watch house and come home. So I
Yeah.
literally kissed Rani. I said, I'll be back in a few hours. And we get in the car and they're like, mate, you're not coming home. I was like, huh? They're like, mate, you're going to jail. And I was like, the fuck? For what? You can't even get me anything. They said, mate, we know what you've been doing. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, well, fuck. Like, and I still didn't grab shoes. So
Yeah.
what I said to him was like, well, can someone just run inside and tell Rani so that she's mentally knowing that I'm not coming home?
Yeah.
And then got to jail, went to walk out of my cell with like the three Velcro shoes from Kmart that you get.
Yeah.
That's what they give you if you don't have shoes. And like the boys that run the unit, they were like, nah, 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 put them back, bro. You don't fucking wear them. We'll get you a new pair of shoes. And I was like, well, I don't have any shoes, bro. They're like, nah, we'll get it for you.
Wait, why can't you wear them?
Because they're just yuck. Like, who the fuck wants to wear like a fucking
Oh,
only people that wear them in jail, like literally like people that have nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, no, 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 put that away, bro. We'll get you a fresh set. And literally within 10 minutes, a fresh, brand new pair of white Asics rock up at the door. And I was like, fuck yeah. They said, yeah, bro, you don't wear those fucking shoes. I was like, all right, sweet. Went to train with these boys. They're doing like a minute on, minute off burpees. And I was like, oh yeah, that should be right. Like I went in there fairly jacked, lost like 8 kilos in the watch house in 3 days, but I was still somewhat big.
Mm.
Um, Finally getting some food into me after being in the watch house. And then, yeah, I went to go train with these boys and I did my first 40 seconds of burpees. And I said, nah, nah,
Yeah. No.
this is not for me, boys.
No.
Sorry. I'll just do some chin ups and some dips. And then that's me. And then, yeah, I just sort of said to myself, like, I'm going to be here for a while. So I either need to, like, just adapt to this type of training
Mm.
or I'm just going to be a fucking loser and just, like, not really go anywhere. So, started doing burpees, started running. I hadn't run since I was 18, since I played football. Never run so much in my life. And then by after like week three, they will call me the commando because I was running like 30, 40 men like boot camps every day. And like I was telling the boys, like, they're like, oh, Trey, can we train with you? And I'd tell them, I said, you can train with me, but on one condition. You train with me every fucking day. Like we don't miss, we don't skip days. You don't fucking get sore and then say, no, I don't want to train tomorrow to train because my legs are sore. Like you can train with me, but if you don't train with me the next day, you're done. You're never training with me again. So I had fucking 30, 40 boys with me doing fucking right. What we'd do is the main thing we'd do is we'd do 10 laps of the yard, 10 burpees, 9 laps, 9 burpees, and go all the way down to one. And that was our cardio. And then after lunch, we'd do like a full body circuit. So we'd do like handstand push-ups, normal push-ups, lunges, wall sits, chin-ups, dips, just like a full body sort of circuit. But that type of training in jail, like boys that have been in there for 10 plus years that are fat, that they were making me look like an absolute goose because they're so
Yeah.
jail fit. It's called being jail fit. Um, so those boys were just absolute animals, and I met some blokes in there that would just out train anyone out here.
Really?
Yeah,
How
like
so?
all the boys
Like
now.
just fitness wise?
Yeah, fitness. Yeah,
Yeah. Like what
um,
else do you have to do, bro?
yeah, well, exactly right, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like in jail, you either be a junkie or you train.
Yeah.
There's no in between. Like, the boys that weren't training, everyone was a junkie. So that was my thing. I was like, well, I've been sober for over a year, so I'm not going to break my sobriety in jail
Yeah.
using fucking a synthetic heroin.
Yeah.
Like, at least if I'm going to do it, I'll fucking get someone to bring some rack in or something and fucking make a day of it. But I was like, I'm not going to do heroin to break my sobriety with some of the biggest scum junkies I've ever seen in my life.
Tell us about the three most innovative things that you saw in prison.
So on my first day, because I didn't know anything about the drug use, on my first day, I was on the phone to my mum in the yard,
Yeah.
and I turned around and there was three boys shooting up each other in the neck, all using the same needle.
Oh.
Fuck.
And I was on the phone to my mum and I said, "Holy fuck!" I said, "Mum, I can't say what I'm looking at." I said, "But you need to get me out of here." I was like, I don't belong in here." And then I seen like probably two really bad fights that were like yuck to experience, to watch, visually watch.
Yeah.
And it was on the same guy. The same guy got flogged 2 days in a row.
Fuck.
So that was not that it was like gross, but like just the amount of blood that was all over the fucking unit was just disgusting. And
Yeah.
walking around, I'm like, bro, I'm the cleaner. Can you fucking go outside or sit still? Because you're putting blood everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, just sit still or fuck
In
off
that
out.
instance, surely you don't have to clean it.
Because I was a unit worker. So unit workers, there's 8 of us in every unit, and
Yeah.
I have to do all the cleaning.
Fuck. Even if it's something like that, even with
Yeah,
it being blood
like
and stuff.
like they shut down. They're very big on like germs and shit. So like they bring in special chemicals.
Yeah.
Everyone has to get outside until we've
But that's
finished.
what I mean, and you still have to clean it.
Yeah, but like they put us in gloves and all sorts of shit. And
What'd the bloke do to get absolutely belted?
oh, bro, it's so political in jail. All
Yeah.
he did was, or not all he did. This is like the politics of jail. But if you fuck up in a unit and they call it bailing, and you go to the guards say, "Hey, I need to leave. Like I'm in danger." They call it bailing from a unit. So if you
Yeah.
suffer the consequences of your actions, they
Mm.
call it bailing. And this black guy come into the unit, and the commo boys that I was with are like, "Oh, you can't. You fucking bailed from our unit 4 years ago in another jail." And he's like, "No, no, no, it wasn't me." So day one of the boys got him, and then day two, he was literally on the bus, waiting by the door with all his belongings to go on the bus to a different jail. And this guy come out of his cell, and he's like, "Bro, come on outside." He's like, "Nah, bro, you guys already got me yesterday." He goes, "Nah, I didn't. Out in the yard, bro." And this guy refused to go. He just sat next to the guards. So old mate just fucking ragdolled him away from the guards and just fucking literally picked him up and just smashed his face on the ground, and then was just like bashing him over the top of him. Like, oh, it
The
was
guards did nothing.
oh, they let it go to an extent. Like it's pretty racist in jails. Like a lot of the guards, if black fellas are getting flogged, they let it go because
That's
the black
bad.
fellas are always really disrespectful.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, if a black fella's getting flogged, they just let it go.
Fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think that would be like that here.
Yeah. Me-
Nah, it's definitely not like American movies. Like, it's not like a tuck shop line. It's not a canteen. Like all your food gets delivered to your door and it's all separate meals per person. Like it's not like, but it's also like it's not as much violence as what you would think either. Like I said, like I was expecting to go in there and flog the biggest cunt and everyone try and stand over you, but it's literally not like that at all. Like everyone's real respectful. If you just go in there, keep your head down, don't try and act like a hero. 9 times out of 10, people are gonna leave you alone. It's the boys that go
Yeah.
in there trying to be heroes. Like, I watched one of the craziest thing was this guy. Only part of his body that wasn't tattooed was this.
Fuck.
And this young 22-year-old was giving him a hard time. And he's like, bro, you don't know who I am. Like, I literally kill cunts for money. Like, you don't want this fucking smoke. And this little kid's like, yeah, sweet, bro, let's go, cunt, then. Let's have a crack. This young 22-year-old, bro, flogged the fuck out of this guy.
Really?
Yeah, but broke his ankle because he big left hook and he fell back and broke his ankle. And then old mate just booted him in the head.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
Do you
So,
ever come into any encounters yourself?
nah. It helped because like not being cocky or anything, but like being big in jail and like having a full set of teeth and like being presentable, people sort of look at you like, oh well, fuck, this guy must be a somebody because and the fact that I have fucking, gold teeth, they're like, holy fuck, this guy must be like some sort of fucking, crazy cunt.
Mm.
9 times out of 10, people are just like, yeah, they come shake your hand, be real respectful. And because I was with boys that like ran jails, done like 15 years jail, so all the guards sort of let this bloke get away with fucking whatever he wanted to do. And because I knew him from the outside, I got pretty lucky that everyone just sort of said, oh, well, he's with him. Let's just leave him. Like, we
Yeah.
never to fuck with him.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's lucky as well for you.
Hmm. So I'm very grateful for that. But even like the first unit before I went up with those boys, like just the boys that you ran the unit, the 8 unit workers, the unit workers always normally run the unit. They're always the best boys in the unit. They're all sober. They don't allow drug use as workers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even they straight away, like as soon as I walked into the unit, they could tell that I was a good cunt. And that's why they bought me the shoes straight away. They're like, nah, bro, you don't wear those shoey shoes. We'll get you a fresh set of Asics. And they could just grab like it's like anything. Like you are who you surround yourself with. If you're a good cunt, good cunts gravitate towards you.
Mm.
Mhm.
Exactly same in jail. If you're a junkie, all the junkies know straight away and they'll gravitate you and they try and use you and get you to shoot up with them and whatnot. But if you're a good cut in jail and you train and that people if you train in jail, people like obsessed with you. Like people would just watch us train every day and they're just like, wow, Trey, like you're so big.
Mm.
Mhm.
It's weird, but it was good for my ego.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, good for that superiority complex. And I feel like it looks good on you as well that you were in a good behave, well behaved while you're in there too, and well respected.
Yeah, well that fucking definitely did me favors.
Yeah, and now you got 3 years to prove yourself more.
Mm.
Yeah. What are some
Where
of
have
any lessons out of prison as well?
Biggest what?
Any lessons you took out of prison?
Just not, no matter how shit life can get, like
Mhm.
you don't ever stop doing what means most to you. Like, I could have gone into jail and just said, you know what, life's fucked, just start being a junkie again, shoot up. But in my head, I was like, no, like on my first day in there, I said, I will not let anything come between me and like my mindset.
Mhm.
Because if I always say this when I train, like if I fail, I'm failing Kaya, which is my daughter,
Yeah,
obviously.
of course. Yeah.
So that was like my biggest driving factor in there. Like if I'll stay staunch in there, I'll stay strong, I'll keep doing what I need to do, I'll make sure I train every day. Like nothing will come between me and my mindset, and like obviously me and my family.
Mm.
Yeah.
Making sure that I show up for myself, because if I can show up for myself in the worst time of my life, like I can do anything.
Yeah.
That was my mindset. Like if I can fucking get through this and come out on top and still be fucking who I am today,
Mhm.
going through that 3 months of hell, like I can achieve anything.
And arguably now you're in the best spot you've ever been as well.
Happiest I've ever been.
Yeah, happiest you've been, probably the most successful you've been in regards to like trajectory too.
Yeah, obviously
Yeah.
definitely most successful. I've
Yeah.
had some very
Depends on the definition of successful.
yeah, has
Yeah.
had some very successful businesses in the
Yeah.
past. Obviously I've had to grind the last few months. Was on good money in the union sites, but and then now I had to take a massive grind these last 4 weeks. But thankfully, businesses picked up extremely quickly,
Yeah.
and allowed me just to live comfortably again.
Yeah.
But obviously, I don't live like I used to, where I was buying $10,000 worth of Louis Vuitton shirts a week and fucking, spending 20 grand on strippers in a weekend. So
$1,000
Bucks
Louis
a
Vuitton
haircut twice.
shirts.
for me now, 2 grand a week, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's me happy because I can provide for my family. I've got a roof over my head. I've got food on my table. My daughter's childcare is paid for. Rani doesn't need to stress. She's got a good career now. She runs her own shop. So I'm like, we're living comfortably.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where like, if I was living the past life like I was, yeah, I'd be struggling.
The simple life's underrated as well.
Oh, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, we live simple, man.
I
Yeah.
sometimes like I put up that post like 2 days ago. Like I literally sit back and think like, how the fuck did I live like that?
Yeah.
Like happily spend 20 to 30 grand a week on designer, alcohol, strippers, drugs, like more money. I'd spend fucking 40. There was weekends I'd spend 40, 50 grand on women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought that that was fucking normal, all
Yeah.
good. And I look back now and I'm like, how the fuck, how am I happy to live off $2,000 a week now?
Mm.
Like
Mm.
it's just, it just blows my mind that, that how far I've come in the last few years, especially.
Yeah. It's like you look at it and people are like, how do you just like go to wake up, go to the gym, work? And it's
Yeah,
just
literally when fucking,
enjoy it, bro.
People
It's
yeah,
glorify
true.
that life, man. Like I don't even like for me, for
Still
example,
go
I
out.
enjoy partying. I get so much more fulfillment out of
Yeah.
ticking boxes and doing what I want to do
Yeah.
and building myself moving forward than I would out of one big night.
yeah,
And well, but you sometimes it's shit to say, but like when I sometimes try to level with people in regards to like their mentality around weekends and partying and things like that, because sometimes they don't have much to look forward to.
Yeah.
nah,
They don't have that same drive or why or ambition that we do. But to me, like feeding into that ambition is what makes me happy. And if that
Yeah.
means 12 hours behind a computer, it's like I don't give a fuck. But
Mm.
if I have to go out and drink to fit in, it's just like that is my idea of like a bad night.
well, that's the thing now. Like I could never be by myself. Like, I was so miserable being by myself back in the day,
Yeah.
which is why I went the drug route.
Mhm.
I hated being alone. I hated being on my own. Like I'd be paying people's wages for the day. Like, oh, bro, take the day off. Here's a fucking $500 for the day. Just come get on it with me, bro. So I didn't
Yeah.
have to do it by myself. But
Yeah.
like, I love absolutely nothing more than just being in my own space. Like, I can happily sit on the couch by myself, put on a movie if I've got the time, and just be in my own head and thoughts.
Yeah. And I feel
Mhm.
like it's how who you surround yourself with as well. Like
Well, that's
I
the thing. I
feel
don't
like
even surround myself with anyone anymore, really. That's the thing. Like, my
like you
whole life revolves around the girls.
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially Kaya, like,
No, but not just like who you hang around with. I'm just talking like the people that you surround yourself with.
oh,
Like for
definitely.
example,
Like,
like
definitely,
us.
Influence
Like
you.
yeah, like,
You
you
can
know what I
relate with
mean?
them
I've
a
got
bit.
Dossie, Anthony, like, boys
Yeah.
that are, other fathers in the
Yeah.
every morning, they're on out getting on benders and fucking just
Yeah.
for a few days. So, yeah, it's
It's just trying
definitely,
to remove it.
and like, people that do that now, like, not that I shouldn't be judgmental, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
fuck, you guys are losers.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, especially if they got kids. I'm like, how the fuck,
You
what's
do
wrong
it.
with you?
Yeah. Bro, it's like you sit there and it's like the best thing that I do is on a Sunday, I wake up nice and early, I will have my coffee in the morning and I go to the market. And it's like the best thing ever on a Sunday, bro. Like I could not think of anything worse. You know what I was when I had my Bucks weekend, the one thing that I was dreading was waking up the next day and feeling like shit and not being able to like go to the market and do my usual routine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
like,
like,
you know what I did? I got home at 10 o'clock and I woke up at 7:30 the next day.
Bro, there's nothing like I never forget when I started coaching you. I could not believe you woke up so early in the morning. I was just like, what is wrong with this fuckhead? Like I just could not wrap my head around it. And now because I'm waking up at 4:30, 4, I wake up about 4:45. Like I understand because the world is so at peace for that first 2, 3 hours of the day.
mm,
Like there is no better feeling. And at night, I feel like at night you're more so trapped by the fact like, yeah, you can get your peace at night, but you know you have to go to bed and you got to start the next day on the
Mm.
other side of the sleep.
Yeah.
There's
but
something
you're
about that
being
morning,
very
man.
productive lately.
Sorry?
Not that you're not productive, but you're smashing out your daily tasks by fucking 2 o'clock.
Oh, bro, I'm doing more than I ever have.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like some days I'm done at like 2 and I'm like, all right, well, what more can I do? But it's parts of the business that I never would have touched before.
yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, and like I actually think to
Yeah,
myself, like,
Trey's
I
more
remember
fucking annoying now.
but when I was starting at 9, like I was never like I wasn't really that much busier client load than I am now. Like I don't think I'm much busier now than I was then, but it felt like I had no time for anything. Like if someone said we're doing this on Friday night, I'd be sitting there like, oh fuck, like how am I going to make that work? Now, if I just had to worry about the client work, like I'd have a perfect work-life balance
mm,
because like 5:30 or 6 a.m. till like 2:30, maybe sometimes a bit later on my big days, but sometimes less on my small days. And it's just because that morning as well. I'm not sure what you're like, but in the mornings I'm sharp. Like I'm
yeah. I'm always. That's always
yeah,
fun. I'd always crash, especially with when I was in construction.
yeah,
I would be so productive up until about midday, and
yeah.
then come an afternoon, I'm just like,
Yeah, I do my creative like businessy work in the afternoons because
Yeah.
I know that it's less time sensitive. So I always tell my clients if you want a good check-in, do it early because that's when I'll be the most.
I'm the
I'm
same.
not a good check-in. It's going to be good regardless, but I know for a fact that in those mornings I am like on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and I feel like people just don't like now I appreciate that. And it took me long enough to appreciate that, but I wish I discovered it earlier.
I've been trying to get you to get up before 5 o'clock for the last 2.5 years.
Oh yeah, I know. This morning I must admit I woke up at 6. But I just had I don't know what it was. I woke up at 4:30 and I was like, nah, today I'm not doing it.
Mm.
First day in a while.
Me, like the main thing was like having Bub like after work. You don't want to fucking. I don't want to come home from work, finish work at 3. I don't want to go to the gym,
Mm.
come home, have a shower, have pre, go to the gym, get to the gym by 4:30, train for an hour and a half, and like by the time I get home, Bub's asleep. So for me, it
Yeah.
was. But even when I was a junkie, I was doing that shit. I was up at 2:30, 3 o'clock, having
Yeah.
2 nights of rack and going to the gym.
Mhm.
Mm.
I don't know why, but it's just like I didn't want to have to, after a day's work in the heat and construction, I did not want to have to worry about going to the gym.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always, but now, like my biggest driving factor was, yeah, just Kaya. Like even now, like I don't need to get up. I don't need to go to the gym early. Like, I have all day to train now. But if Rani's not going to do cardio and I can wake up and not have to drop Kaya to school, I'm still at the gym at 4:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the little community too, which helps.
Yeah, I went to the gym last night to take
Like, yeah.
Jordan's little brother through a session.
Yeah.
I texted him afterwards. I said, mate, we are never ever going to the gym
At
again.
that time.
Yeah.
I could not believe the amount of people.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. That's
They,
why I train. Yeah, because I train middle of the day, but the where we're at now is quiet. But when I was training at the commercial gym in like the suburbs, we're still suburbs, but like outer suburbs, that was like I don't know how people do it. Like I would go in one, I remember the night that I canceled my membership was because I couldn't like every step I'd take, someone would talk to me. And then I'd go to use the machine and be busy. Then I'd go, okay, I'll do my next exercise, that'd be busy as well. And then I just walked up to reception, I said, I'm done. Like cancel it. Yeah. Like and they're like, why? And I'm like, I just can't do this anymore. Like this is too
I
busy.
don't step foot in a gym after 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the same as there.
What gym do you train at?
Well, I was at Worlds, but Powerhouse just opened like 20 seconds from my house.
Oh, no shit.
It's like
What suburb is it?
full recovery center as well.
Isn't it
What
Logan?
suburb is it?
Mount Gravatt as well.
It is Mount Gravatt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's Powerhouse in just north of the city as well.
Bayside is Bayside.
Yeah, apparently that one's not as good.
It's not, the one closer to me that just opened is bigger and better equipment,
Yeah.
but old school one, the south side, that was the original World Gym Brisbane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like real OG, like
Mm.
old school warehouse vibes.
Yeah.
But
Wait, is
demo-
Hillcrest a bin?
Hillcrest is not too bad, but you got to go through absolute trash to get out there.
Nah, because that's where O2 is opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so O2 is opening finally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he told me end of March, but I don't. It's not going to be end of March.
They're always a little bit longer because even undefeated that we are now, the saunas are meant to be open at the start of Feb and it's 12th of March today.
mm.
Yeah. So we're anticipating
Yeah,
that
that's
for 2 weeks,
fine.
I think. Yeah. Construction takes always that little bit longer than you think.
Ages. Yeah,
Um,
fucking hell.
well, one of the questions I had here too was general advice you'd have for anyone to look their life around, turn their life around.
Just don't fuck around. I wish I got a coach earlier
Mm.
because this
It's
shit's not.
always like sorry to cut you off, but like I find if you don't have a good coach or you don't have a coach, the periods in my life where I've been most productive is where I've had a coach on the same page as me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like that I stand by because when your life's together in the
That
gym and
extra
in your
little bit of
habits,
accountability. Like
yeah,
9 times out of 10, people come to me because they don't want to have to think.
yeah,
Like they all want to turn their life around, but they don't want the
mm,
issues of having to, oh, well, how do I work out how much food I need to eat? Or like 9 times out of 10, all my clients are like, bro, I just feel like a lost puppy in the gym.
mhm,
Yeah.
Like we just go in there, do a few different exercises, and then fucking walk out. Like we just don't have a plan. And I'm like, yeah, well, sweet, that's what I'm here for. And then yeah, like it's just that the concept of not ever having to think. Like everything's there. They know what they need to do. They know what's going to help them achieve their goals,
mhm.
and they know that I've been through the shit, and I'm not just another online coach that is fawning millions of
Yeah.
dollars. And
And you want to actually help them as well.
yeah,
Yeah, because you got to love it. And like that's the one thing I've noticed recently is how much I love it
mm.
with the whole new routine and whatnot.
That's like I always FaceTime call when I do like onboardings.
Yeah,
people can see like my facial expressions, and like I literally get goosebumps when I'm talking to people about like the, their reasons why and the benefits of turning their life around, and like people are like, holy fuck, bro, like you got me motivated right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Fucking, that's the whole point, bro. That's what I'm here for.
yeah,
Yeah. No, well, I think it's important to the onboarding calls regardless, though, because they do want to familiarize themselves with you because they may not speak to you too often. I'm not
Well,
sure.
that's another thing. Like people work with me because they want to work with me. Like I'm all for people making money, and I'm hats off to all these big online coaches that are
Yeah.
making dollars. But for me, it takes away the genuine aspect of
Mhm.
it. Like
Yeah.
personally, I hated dealing with a coach that I didn't have a close bond with.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just feel like, well, you don't really give a fuck about me. My first coach before Darcy, I had him for 2 weeks, and I barely got a response. He didn't
Yeah.
take, literally programmed a food that I said from the start that I didn't like, and
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I don't like that, and took him like 4 days to respond, and literally, I paid him for 6 months to the dog, and then after like 3 days, I just said, bro, you know what? Just fuck off. Don't worry about it. I'll go somewhere else.
I paid someone 6 months before, and on the ninth week, I just said, just keep it.
Yeah, I just told him, I said,
Yeah.
bro, like, I don't even care. Just please, just fuck off because
I,
you're
I
making.
actually said to them, you can keep it if there's no, like I said, you can keep it if that's how it works, that's fine. But if we can work out some kind of, like, at least get some of
You
it back,
always want
that
your
would be
money back,
great.
Michael.
Sorry?
You always want your money back.
Oh yeah, but then he was like, "Nah, all good, mate. Thank you so much." And I was like, "Okay." Like I didn't expect to get it back, but I just thought, like, considering it was 17 weeks that I'd
Mm.
paid him,
Yeah.
and he only had like a 12-week minimum, I thought because I just paid him it because I just was easier for me.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, at least he'll probably give like I don't know, maybe half. But sometimes you got to cut your losses, man. Like I'm sure I've told you this before. I'm big on the sunk cost fallacy too. So like people will dwell on things or keep going with things just because they paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sooner you cut your losses, the sooner you move forward, because that takes away time, and time's more valuable than money. Because you got to think in one good year, you could make more that you could make in five like average years.
Do you do a minimum like you have to pay 12 weeks?
No.
We do a minimum term, but they don't pay it up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. See,
Yeah.
my mentor has told me I need to run the business like that, but
Mhm.
that's something I disagree with because I just feel that if you're unhappy and you don't like the service I'm providing, I don't want you to have to pay for it for one, and I don't want you to for two have to stick around. If you're
It's
unhappy,
never
fuck off.
it's never because of your service though that they leave.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. And that's
Yeah.
why I'll never do the 12-week minimum because I know that I'll always give people a service that's so much
Yeah.
more than what they think they're going to get. So,
Mm.
and if they're still not happy with that, bro, if you're not happy, fuck off.
Yeah.
See, the way that we look at it is now at the level that the business is at, like it culls out the time wasters.
Mm,
Like by recognizing that there is that minimum commitment, they are forced to apply themselves.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, like you'll reach this point too. You don't want someone jumping on and then 4 weeks in jumping off because it's just like, well, as much as they're paying you, you are investing in them, and those first few weeks are quite time heavy too.
that's the
Yeah.
most thing that I'm dealing with now because yeah, a lot of cunts like they'll go good and then they
Yeah.
go shit. Now they're all especially with this cyclone, like everyone's just falling to shit and they're like
Yeah,
sorting
I've noticed that. Because
dudes. I'm like, fuck, bro, like fuck, sort your shit out, like.
Yeah.
I said that to a lecturer this morning because she's been really good. And I said to her, I've noticed across the guys from North, like it's either similar to what you've done here, like nothing's changed,
Mm,
like still on your shit, or it's complete write-off.
yeah.
Because a lot of them just
Get
getting
it. Like
like
the shops are completely empty. Like there's no food
yeah,
in the shops.
COVID again.
A lot of gyms were closed, and I get it. But I'm like, all right, it's finished now.
Mhm.
It's not fucking, now we get back on track straight away.
Yeah, no,
I
I
just,
agree.
and I
You
get it.
affected by it at all?
Nah. Besides the foods, but I'm a hoarder, bro. So like, I'll have enough food in my freezers and
Yeah, I was
fridge
gonna say.
to
Yeah,
be
he's
full.
got a full freezer of Wagyu, not Wagyu,
Yeah.
but maybe used to be Wagyu. Remember when you were
Yeah.
giving us Wagyu?
Now it's fucking
I
cold eye fillets, bro.
was having steak and rice 3 times a day.
Remember the fridge? Remember the fridge loaded of Oxy Shred cans?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
I got three
This
cartons
cat,
in my
this
fridge
cat was
now.
drinking the cola Oxy Shred cans like they were fucking Pepsi Max. Like,
yeah.
I was having like 1,200 meg of caffeine a day.
that's what Michael does. Michael's doing
Uh,
about 700
nah, I
milligrams
do
caffeine.
5 shots a day.
Yeah, fuck it.
Three,
Fucking
I do
five.
a triple shot
Plus
and a
his,
double
plus
shot.
his intra, plus his fucking pre-workout,
I don't have
fucking water or
pre-workout.
whatever.
I don't have pre-workout.
5 shots of coffee still fucking what?
I
300
do my
meg?
triple shot in the morning, and then on the way to the gym, I get a double. And if I don't train, I just go get a double anyway. Like today, I'll get a double on the way to the gym. So that's,
I'll probably get a double on the way to the gym today, I
but
reckon.
I'm training in the middle of the day. I have to train in the middle of the day because I got back. I'm getting laser tonight.
Have you got a coffee machine at your house?
Me.
Michael does.
Yeah.
Nah.
How much money do you reckon you spend on coffees per week?
Four
And
bucks a day.
if he's
Four
getting
bucks a
black
day.
coffee from 7-Eleven, it'd be like 40 cents a day.
Nah, I do it from 7-Eleven because
You
it's
get the 7-Eleven ones,
5 o'clock in the morning, nothing's open.
Do you use the app at 7-Eleven? 50 cents
Yeah.
off coffee?
7-Eleven's coffee is actually nice, considering you
Yeah,
go
it's
to a
not
cafe
bad.
and it's like
Oh,
$7
you
for a
guys
coffee.
are all losers.
You've
No,
never
it's
been to
not.
Little Florence in Brisbane.
I don't
Cow.
mind it. I don't hate it, but like I just want the taste of coffee. Like I have a coffee shop that I go to regularly, but like because they open at 6, like I want to be at my desk by like 5:45.
Mm. It's like
My
when I used to
opinion
go,
coffees is actually decent.
like when I used to go do my fasted cardio with your Himline in, and I used to have to get a coffee and I had to pull into Coles Express, and it's the worst coffee
That's
ever.
right. I remember that. I
Yeah, it's
remember
the
That one's
worst
shit.
coffee
that
ever,
was
bro.
saying that's fucking
Horrible.
criminal.
7-Eleven are
They're all-
definitely the best shit coffees though.
Yeah, it's the best servo coffee.
Nah, Ampol, best
Really?
shit coffee. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
haven't tried it.
No,
I would
I haven't had pre-workout
rather
in
not drink coffee than drink servo coffee.
really?
I've never had a servo coffee because I refuse.
Oh,
Do you
that's
drink?
why.
Do you drink coffee every day?
Since starting work and like not driving, because I'm very fussy with coffee. So like if
Yeah,
I'm not going to Tirani's work or passing his Zarafas, I don't drink coffee.
yeah. And do you
Because
part? You don't, and you wouldn't, bro. Like when are you gonna pass the
snob.
Raffles? Is there one on the way to the gym?
no, never.
Coffee's
Yeah.
more expensive
And
in
my coffee intake the last month has been nearly nil. Besides going to Rani's work on the weekend and for going for a walk, I don't drink
You
coffee.
don't drink Monsters either, do you?
Not anymore, no. But I'm back on the Cali Cola Oxy Shreds.
Like Oxy Shreds.
I
Yeah.
don't do monsters.
I'm on
I got
the
three
caffeine
cartons. I
free.
got 3 cartons of them the other day put in the fridge.
I do.
I'm on the caffeine free
Because
Oxy
I'm
Shreds
just
at
sick
the
of
moment.
monsters because they're just too big.
Yeah, that's why I don't do them, and I drink them too fast, so they buzz me.
And
Like,
same, I
don't get
scull
me
them.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. During prep, fuck, I could have 3 a day, all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going for a fourth if it wasn't for you guys telling me my heart's going to give way.
yeah.
But
One of the boys was having 4 a day recently as well.
That's fucked.
Yeah, 4 a day, and be like, "Oh, my stomach's fucked," and so
No
Probably
shit.
have, probably have a
that's the
pre-workout as
topics.
well.
This is more of a fucking chit chat than what it is fucking anything productive.
and it's okay. It's always nice.
What
People
do we
like
want?
shit talk.
There's always a little bit of a
Yeah,
shit talking.
surprised.
Um,
But
but yeah,
biggest,
those Oxy
biggest,
Shred,
biggest,
those
biggest piece of advice, yeah, for me, definitely don't fuck around. Just get a coach. Like
Yeah.
it's the most simple, effective way. It simplifies the whole process.
yeah.
Like if you just like a 9 times out of 10, people got no nutritional knowledge. And I was a big factor for it. I was a big victim of that as well. Like I had no knowledge. I thought eating 3 vermicelli salads and fucking rice paper rolls for dinner was healthy.
Mm.
And fucking
Elite, just
and
quietly.
or eggs and some sourdough and avocado every morning for breakfast was, that was me being healthy. But I was 125 kilos round, and like I've been training since I was 15. If I had trained with the intensity that I have now and understanding what like training till failure is, if I had this knowledge when I was 15, I'd probably look like Seba.
Yeah,
Mm.
bro. Hindsight's
I
2020.
wish I applied, but from when I was
Yeah,
younger.
So
that's
do
why
I.
now, like my little brother, I've got him on as a client. I'm not making him pay, but I'm like, bro, like if you are serious about this and you want to do well in the gym, like I'm fucking giving you the best knowledge that you could
Mhm.
ever have at your age. Like he's 15.
But it's not
Like,
even that, bro. You get like these young clients that come in as well, and you might find that when you do start getting those younger clientele, it's the same thing, bro. Every time I speak to them, it's like, oh, fuck, bro, I'm not that old. Like what, 27? And it's like I still sit there, and when I get like a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, I'm like, bro, if I wish I had what you're doing right now. Like
yeah,
if I had some cunt tell me, bro, I used to go into the gym and do like fucking 3 sets of dumbbell shoulder press every session. Like,
I do
like
like
it was just
full,
like
Fucking
because I
exercise,
liked
full,
it.
bit of
full
kick and
stack
blast.
straight bar push
There was
down.
no structure. I just fucking go in. I'd just be like, oh, what do I feel like training today? And like, it'd be half-assed. Like, if I had some cunt telling me what to do from fucking 18 years old when I came out of school, I'd also be the same. I'd be fucking some
Not even
natty
like that,
years
like
that I
like the
see.
understanding like training hard and
Yeah,
intensity of training. Like, I always thought I was training hard as a kid, like doing full stack fucking push down
yeah,
and shit with the boys and every cunt taking photos of each other, thinking we're mad cunts. But, you know, if I just understanding like training till failure, training properly, like training with purpose, hitting forms properly, because like it's a fucking game changer.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Fuck, bro. I
Otherwise,
wish.
you're going into the gym, you're a lost puppy, you're not executing shit properly, you don't know what you're doing, you're not working, you're not doing shit that's really benefiting you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought that I would train hard when I was younger, and then now it's like a completely polar
Yeah,
opposite.
like I look back now and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it, trying to do full stack fucking lat pull downs. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, what the fuck was the point of that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I even think like because when I really look back on it too, I still live pretty similarly to what I would have at like 2021 or like
Yeah.
22, we'll say. And then I compare the pair and it's like, wow. But one of the biggest regrets that I have is like obviously I'm 30 now and I wish from like even like the year that I prepped you for the first time, I wish like that year I applied myself in 2022 I applied myself
Yeah,
because
you were
that year was like a
For an
mess.
off season.
you were shit.
Bro, I was shit. I remember my
Bro,
two
do you remember when he was
time
when he
went
was at your
2020.
house? He wasn't even eating,
Ah, it was
barely
gross.
doing anything. He'd sit in
Yeah.
that office. Do you remember that day he was losing his marbles because the app was down?
Oh yeah.
Do you
I think
remember
I
that?
tried to hide it from him though.
He was losing his mind.
Yeah, I was trying to hide it from him. Yeah, because I didn't want to stress you out and think that
That
I
was
was
like
fine.
peak stressed, Michael.
Yeah, that was the worst I'd been.
Peak.
Yeah, now it's just like I hardly get stressed now, actually.
Well,
It's
yeah, because you're in
control.
shape.
Yeah,
I try to tell all my clients that you will like just because you're fit and healthy, but like it's the mental aspects that come of being healthy and being in
Yeah.
shape. Like
yeah,
dealing with stress, dealing with work, dealing with all the externals of life, like being in good shape and eating the right foods. Like it's not just like I said, it's not just a matter of looking good and feeling good. It's like it's your fucking mental health.
yeah. It trickles down to everything.
So many cunts come to me, oh, bro, I'm depressed. I'm like, okay, well, you're 120 kilos and you're fat as fuck. No wonder why you're depressed.
Yeah, I'm a big.
Like, they're like, oh, no, I'm on antidepressants. I'm like, bro, fucking, like, I'm very big on like, it's a touchy subject, but I don't really believe in the whole medicinal aspect of the world. Like I just see, like I was just talking to a mate this morning who went in for a sleep apnea consult with his GP, and the
Yeah.
GP straight away said, "Oh, you can go the
For
you can
that.
go the old school route of just eating healthy and trying to lose weight, or here's a $500 a month script for Ozempic."
Bro, it's
Yeah,
funny you say that. I found something on TikTok like yesterday, and it was some woman talking about like her yo-yo dieting and whatever, and it was talking about how she uses it's not Ozempic, there's a new one now. Starts with an M. Still semaglutide.
Manjaro. It's not new.
Yeah, Manjaro, bro, and like the video went viral, and there's so many fucking people in the comments being like, "Manjaro was the best thing I ever did. I'm so glad I got on it." And it's like you're just a useless cunt,
Yeah,
man. Like,
literally.
just
That's what I
fucking
said.
do the work.
He's always whinging about being fat, and he's always whinging about like not having energy. I'm like, bro, just fucking eat better.
But bro, the two go hand in hand. Like I can appreciate someone that does it and like actually does the right steps using it.
Mm.
Like you make sure you're focusing on the diet as well as using it. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But I hate these cunts are just like, and I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I'll eat
And
whatever I
like
want.
nine,
I'm just
nine,
not
nine
hungry.
out of 10 times, but
I'm
people
eating less
are
Maccas. Yeah, it's like I'm instead of eating fucking two burgers from Macca's, I'm eating one this time because I'm
yeah,
not
No,
as hungry.
like the
no,
worst is like I've got a lot of girls, not that are clients of mine, but like girls that I know that like just like, oh my God, Ozempic, fucking changed my
yeah.
life. I'm like,
Yeah.
hun, you're already fit to start with, like, and you're just lazy. And like
Yeah.
now when there was a shortage, they're like, oh my God, can you fucking get it for me? I'm like, no,
No.
like
Yeah, I
I
have
don't
go
even
to
want
the
to get it
gym,
for you.
hun. And then they're all depressed because their fucking mental health is shit. I'm like, well, instead of just banging Ozempic and fucking using it as a route and easy way out, like go and eat well, go to the gym, get some vitamin D, go for a walk in the sun. You'd be amazed of how much better you feel instead of just fucking pricking yourself with Ozempic and using it as an easy way out.
Yeah.
It's
But that was
not
like me when I posted about
weight
just
loss is
eating
not
shit
all that comes
as
with
well.
lifestyle. Yeah.
That's what?
The weight loss is not all which comes with the lifestyle that you adopt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like even that was like me how I posted the other day that I was just feeling shit and I was just like I feel like I'm not fucking doing anything. I'm just like just turning up every day just to turn up because I'm used to it. And then like since Monday or Sunday technically, I like started waking up early to go for my walk, waking up at the same time all the time, like making it my non-negotiable. And it's just like I already feel better
It's just
just from
little things
doing
that
it.
makes the biggest impact on your life.
Yeah.
I've got this one girl that always fucking talks about it, antidepressants and shit.
Mm.
I'm just like, go to the gym.
There's a book
Yes,
called
one of my close friends that like, oh
mm,
yeah, I went to my GP, got these new antidepressants on this antidepressant. I'm like, can't go for a walk, bro.
mm.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a book called Lost Connections where he actually goes over how most mental health issues stem from like a lack of satisfaction in one's life. compared
Like a
to,
I've had this
drive.
one mum have a dig at me about like when I talk about dads being fat and they're not actually dads, they're mums. She's
yeah,
like, "Oh, you're gonna make them kill themselves because they're depressed." I'm like, "Well, no, they're depressed because they're fat.
yeah, and
I'm calling them
usually, yeah,
a
because
woman."
I don't, because that book's obviously a little bit outdated, but neurological issues, like on a deep level, make up like a small number of cases in regards
Yeah.
to mental health. So usually it's the circumstance of an individual, and you resolve the circumstances, and things improve.
Yeah, well, I always tell people, I'm like, Have you ever felt shit after going for a walk or going to the gym?"
Unless you're depressed, is
Yeah, I'm like, "Can you
like
honestly tell me?"
circumstantially depressed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, "Can you honestly tell me that you've never felt better?"
When I say
And they're
circumstantially, I mean like there's a specific catalyst for the
yeah,
depression.
they're like, "No." I'm just like, "Okay, well, there you go. Just do it
Yeah.
every day, and you'll feel better every day."
Yeah. No, I
Oh,
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, people just don't realize how easy it is to feel good.
We'll wrap it up there. All right.
yeah.
Thanks for jumping on, mate.
Thanks,
Anytime.
mate.
Yeah, I'll
Thank
have to
you.
pry through that one to get a nice run sheet out of it too.
Mhm. I feel
Yeah.
like we should just do shit talking ones, but I feel like that'd just be Trey grilling people.
Yeah. Well, if we do a shit talking one, we'll plan it out properly
I'll
too.
send you one of my looms where I grill one of my clients.
I'll send that. Don't send that. That's not fair. That's not fair on them. Nah.
All right. I
That's
want
good.
to go physio.
All right.
Oh,
Enjoy.
fuck.
All right. See you, boys.
El Teriyaki sub said hello.
Nah, oh no, she's physio, so I'm going Cairo.
All right.
Cairo. Yeah.
Cool. Enjoy.
All right.
Right. See you, mate. Thanks for coming on.